And good Tuesday morning. Welcome to episode 33 of the Inside Drive podcast. Appreciate you tuning in today. Got some fun guests in studio with us today. 4 girls from the UA Championship Middle School basketball team, and of course, Coach Toole, who led the way this year, undefeated season. We'll dive into it with individual questions for Coach, as well as all 4 girls. We'll swap in and out when we take a break about halfway through the show. Got to start as I always do. There's still some time. You can go to Golf Plus and buy some Christmas presents for the golfer in your family. If you want to improve your score, Golf Plus is the place to be in Bay County with the tools and expertise to help you. Golf Plus has been featured in both Golf and Golf Digest magazine as the top club fitter in the one of the top club fitters in the country, and they certainly deserve it. Their fitting studio will blow you away with the selection of brands and models and clubs, as well as all the shafts you could possibly want to try. The putting green is filled with all the latest and greatest brands you could possibly want. Need some club repair done? Their repair shop is second to none. Tour van quality repairs every time, and fast too. Golf Plus is your fitting studio and repair shop in Bay County and beyond. Renovations have finished up. They added a second simulator, new floor, all that good stuff. Again, holiday sales still going on. There's plenty of time to get a gift certificate or a gift card if you're looking for a stocking stuffer for the golfer in your family. Still 25% off all junior clubs, 20% off all in-stock shoes. They are located in the shops in Edgewater next to Firefly. You give them a call at 850-249-2726 or go to golfplusretail.com. I also want to mention one of our new sponsors, Juice and Sunsets. You can check them out on Facebook or on their website, juiceandsunsets.com. All the selections are handmade, juiced, 100% healthy. They got ginger, cayenne pepper, all sorts of good stuff. Another great opportunity to get some good presents. You can go on their website, order some gift certificates. But again, Juices and Sunsets, one of our new sponsors. Excited to have them on board as their juices are absolutely delicious. We're going to start with the head coach of the 2025-26 Bay County Middle School Girls Champions in girls basketball. That's Coach Jason Toole. Coach Toole, thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, we're just going to go through some questions here real quick, and then we'll get to the girls. Starting with, obviously a pretty exciting season, but I'm going to ask more personally about you. What got you into basketball specifically?
So honestly, I grew up playing my whole life. I've always enjoyed playing. My wife played through high school as well. We had a daughter who was going to UA, and at the time, I don't know if everybody knows, but when my daughter was a 7th grader, UA did not have a girls basketball team. They had a boys basketball team for a few years, but did not have a girls team. My daughter and a few of her friends wanted to have a team. Coach Stanford, who I think has been on the show before, came to me and just said, hey, I heard you would be interested in coaching. And I was like, sure, I'll help. Well, the next year he called me back and was like, you got to be the head coach or we're not going to be able to have a team. And so that's
No pressure.
That's where it started. So that was about 7 years ago.
So you're the one and only ever head coach of the girls basketball team.
Correct. Yep.
Pretty exciting stuff. Obviously, you said your 7th year coaching at UA. Now you have 2 championships, but this is the only one that was an undefeated championship like the 72 Dolphins. How special was this group that you coached this year?
I mean, honestly, I have enjoyed all my teams, but this team has been special this year. The way they came together, the way they supported each other. I knew we would be competitive. Like over the summer, I thought we would have a good team, but I think some of the girls, would even tell you as well. I don't think any of us knew that we would be as good as what we were.
I think the parents would probably say that same thing.
So it was really the way they came together. I think looking at all the individual pieces, maybe you would not have thought we would have been who we were, but when they all came together, we were, the best team out there.
Absolutely. And that's, more common than not. You can't win stuff on individual talent, but talent that plays together as a team usually is very, very successful. University Academy is just kind of a special place. The culture there, the buy-in from all the parents, the students, and the faculty. Fair to say that we now have the best home court advantage in Bay County?
I believe so. I mean, I can tell you going through 6 years of not having a gym and traveling every single game that we ever did, never having a locker room to be able to make a halftime adjustment, anything. It has been incredible to have that, to have the fans come, the parents who show up. I mean, I believe, and this is my opinion, this is not a fact, but I believe we have more fans show up to the game than any other school that we travel to.
I would agree with that for sure. For sure. Talking about that gym, how important do you think the gym was to the success of this year's team?
I mean, I really think it had a big impact. I mean, it was just a place where the girls got to practice there. I mean, it's something about it. I know growing up, you always felt like you shot better on your home court. You know, like you knew where your shots were, you kind of knew your spots, and we've never had that. So I think being able to have a gym where the girls got to practice play in that gym, get a comfortability with the court they were playing on, I think had a huge impact, especially being able to host the playoffs, throughout as well.
Yeah, obviously getting that number one seed being Bay Haven in that final regular season game was huge to be able to play at those home
Yeah.
court, have the home court advantage throughout the playoffs was pretty awesome. Something we were kind of building towards the entire season. We ripped off a bunch of wins and I was like, okay, this team's pretty good, but you knew at the end of the season that Bay Haven was there in that final week.
Yep.
And you knew that was going to, they were undefeated all season too. And as we approached that game, we really kind of came out there and dominated that game, which was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, I really thought after the Moet game, which I think was like the fourth game of the season, I could see that us and Bay Haven were probably on a collision course. I felt like the rest of the games we were going to be able to win until that last one, and I felt like it was going to be a head-to-head for number one seed.
And it ended up being a solid performance from the girls to kind of, I don't want to say easily get that number one seed, but probably a little smoother than we thought it was going to be, just because usually Bay Haven's such a good basketball team, but they had to come to our house and play at our house instead of their gym.
Yeah.
So, not to take away from any other girls on the team, but the four girls that'll be on the show today, you've coached them for 3 straight years. What makes their bond and ability to play on the court together so special to you?
I mean, honestly, like I said, it just goes back to the teamwork, knowing each other. I mean, they looked for each other. And this is not to put any other team down.
Yeah.
I think this is middle school basketball as a whole when you're playing like this. But you usually have one or two girls who may be the leaders of your team, and everybody looks to get them the ball or hand them the ball and get out of the way. And again, that's typical a lot of times. But with our girls, they played together. They constantly look for each other. They work together as a defensive unit. So not just offense, not just passing, but knowing that your teammate was going to be there to have your back if you went for a steal and didn't get it. It just allowed them to be a more aggressive team, knowing their team had their back. And like I said, that's just kind of built. And these four girls have been with us all 3 years, worked hard every day in practice, didn't get a lot of playing time as sixth graders, got a little bit more as seventh graders, and then hardly ever came off the court, this year, other than, when we had the game in hand and we're able to get some other girls in the game. But yeah, just that bond they had with each other of knowing they could trust each other in every moment. I mean, we didn't have a lot of games that got close, but those last 2 playoff games, we had some adversity, and you saw that teamwork and them being able to trust each other come through in that moment. So,
well, and also too, I think, and I can't speak for everybody, but I can certainly speak for Ryan. She only played a couple of seasons of rec before coming to middle school basketball, and the development you were able to do with these four girls, I thought was absolutely fantastic. So we want to thank you for that for sure, because where they started as sixth graders and where they ended up as eighth graders was pretty spectacular. Yeah. And we appreciate you doing that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We try to focus on drills a lot in practice, because to me, that's where
fundamentals is the name of any sport. Yep. Soccer, football, basketball, whatever it is. If you're not working on fundamentals, you're not getting better. It can be boring, but it's so important. It's the old adage says it's tough to beat a team twice, and you had to beat 2 teams twice en route to the championship. Walk us through what you told the girls after that first quarter in the semifinal game against Breakfast Point when they found themselves down 13-4 after the first quarter.
I mean, honestly, I just tried to keep telling them that we are the better team. If we could just settle in and play our game, that we would be the better team. And once they were able to do that, and the competitive fire kind of kicked in with each of them, we kind of started chipping away at it. And I think once they started seeing that success, that we were the better team and we were chipping away at the lead, I think it, finally took hold, and they just kept fighting and were able to come all the way back and get that win.
Such a momentum-driven sport. It's just you go on these little runs, and a lot of times these girls, maybe they'd miss their first couple layups early in the game, but then a switch would seem like it would be flipped, and all of a sudden they'd start pressing, making turnovers and running the ball and then making their layups. I'm sure that's just kind of part of that competitive fire you were talking about turning on. Who are some of the most vocal leaders on the team out there? Because obviously coaching is so important, but if you don't have leaders on your actual squad, it's tough to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, vocal leaders, I would say you're probably going to be Ryan and Lucy. And Lucy is maybe not the most vocal person, but the girls respond to the things she has to say. My wife she coaches with me, and so she sits on the bench because they only allow one coach to stand up. So she was telling me during the Breakfast Point game, she was talking to Lucy the whole game of like, Lucy, you got to get these girls going. You got to get these girls going. And she was like, okay, coach. And so they respond to Lucy from a vocal leader. we had a lot of good girls lead by example. Aubrey, obviously, her competitive fire, her getting out there leading by an example, bringing the team along with her. But vocal leaders, I would go Ryan and Lucy.
Awesome. Thank you. The championship game was obviously everything you could want out of a championship game. Ended up being a 1-point victory, but it was kind of close the whole way, close early in the game. And then you guys went on a nice run to get up 31-21. And then Moet kind of flipped that momentum, and you could kind of feel them chipping away, like you said, coming back. Then they ended up taking the lead by 1. What was the conversation like in the timeouts and the bench when we got to that point where we were down by 1?
Honestly, kind of the same thing. I let them know this is what we worked for all year. We had worked for this moment all year. We had practiced hard. Everything they put in was to finish this season. And so I honestly thought it was good that we faced adversity against Breakfast
was
Point,
important. Yep.
because I asked them that day after that at practice. I said, if you're honest with yourself, we all thought we may lose that game. And that was the first moment that we realized that we may not accomplish what we wanted to. And I asked them how that felt. And they said, it was not a good feeling. And I'm like, well, hold on to that for this next game, because you're going to need to, pull from that or come back to that. But I felt like we were the better team. I felt like if we just kept fighting and staying together, we were. Obviously, Ella, breaking her arm in the semifinal game, not having her. Emma was out of town on a family vacation. So we were a little bit shorter on the bench. So these girls didn't get a break. And so I feel like that contributed to their run at the end. We were a little worn out and tired. But each time out, I just tried to get them a quick breather and tell them, let's finish it. Just everything you got, leave it on the court.
Absolutely. I've told a lot of teams that I've coached, if you give 100% out there, whatever happens on the scoreboard doesn't necessarily matter. Because if you did everything you possibly could, then whatever happens on the score, it's either going to be good or bad. One quick question in that game. At the end of the game, we had to kill 4.7 seconds with a 1-point lead.
Yeah.
What did you tell Aubrey and Ryan in that inbound play?
So we obviously have an inbound play that I think everybody knows. We always run it. It seems to always be successful. But we typically don't go to the person who pops out. So I told Aubrey I wanted her in that second position. I wanted her to get to the corner. I told Ryan just to get it to her. And you have 5 seconds. If someone guards you, you can get a 5-second count. But like you said, there was 4.7.
Yep.
So I just told Aubrey,
enough time.
Exactly. I told Aubrey, catch the ball and keep it away from her. Luckily, we had the possession arrow as well. So if they were able to tie her up, we would have had the ball again. But she did perfect. She did exactly what I asked her to. She kept her body between the player and the sideline. She kept the ball extended out away from her.
Soccer may prove to help in that one.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So it was good. It worked exactly like we drew it up. So.
Well, again, Coach, we appreciate all you've done for our girls and for University Academy. A season we will certainly never, ever, ever forget, and hopefully it goes down to one of the best in University Academy girls basketball history. Ryan, Aubrey, welcome to the show. Rian Murphy, Aubrey Davis. Obviously, what you guys can kind of each answer these. Obviously, winning a championship is really, really fun. What were some of the other most fun memories from this particular season? Obviously, winning all the games is spectacular, but go ahead, Ryan.
So really, the whole season was a blast. Playing with the girls, everything was fun. But I think practice really drove us into wanting to play more and just having a lot of fun with them. It honestly just. That was probably my favorite, just being with them.
Awesome. Aubrey, what about you?
I think we had a lot of fun practices to where we could all bond with each other and get more team chemistry. And it helps that we were all in a friend group inside of school.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You guys certainly have the chemistry, that's for sure. Obviously spending, going to some of these restaurants after games and stuff like that is always something you guys really enjoy as well. Kind of some of the traditions, I guess you could say, with UA. How important is spending that time together with the team, not necessarily in practice or in school, but a little bit outside of games as well? Go ahead, Ryan.
It honestly, it builds the team. It just makes you be able to feel like that's a family. Because
it's a good word.
Going out to eat, that's what families do.
Yeah.
And it just builds your bonds between every girl on the team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. It really helps build team chemistry. And that we all bonded with each other, and just like Ryan said, we're all family because we all go to UA and stuff. So
Hashtag UA family, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
One quick question. I don't know if you've done this in years prior, but you guys were able to kind of do some coaching during one practice. Was that fun?
Yes, sir.
How did that come about?
So honestly, on the Thanksgiving break, we gave a homework assignment. And so a few girls were able to come back and turn that into my wife. And so my wife was like, we're going to let them be coach for a day. And honestly, so you asked, that was the first time we'd ever done that.
Gotcha.
And they were not easy. The coaches became the players. And, we participated with the other girls.
Always good to flip the script.
We were sore after that day. I will promise you that.
We talked about it as well with Coach Jason. How special is the bond between y'all four? Ryan, Aubrey, Ella, and Lucy. Lucy. The fun chant we had all year. The parents really dove into that. Every time Lucy would make a big shot or do something huge, you'd hear the Lucy coming from the crowd. I'll ask her about that when she comes on. But, how special, you kind of already mentioned it, but the bond between y'all four, you've been friends for a long time. The chemistry is already there. But then to be, to go through this as friends, not as teammates, and friends as well, y'all will probably never forget this for the rest of your life, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And you've done some pretty incredible things in the soccer world. So where does this rank as far as, all your accomplishments?
Top 5. Definitely top
5. Y'all didn't face much adversity during the season. Were you guys nervous after you went down in that semifinal game?
Yeah.
And obviously Coach Jason was trying to keep you guys grounded. Was there anybody else on the team that was kind of trying to keep you guys grounded as well?
I was so nervous because that's the game I fouled out in the third quarter. So I
Yeah.
had to after I was mad, I had to pick myself up and build the team up.
That's right. Absolutely. And you did a heck of a job of doing that. That's for sure. And you did a heck of a job in that fourth quarter of that game of kind of, I don't want to say becoming Aubrey, but you certainly looked like Aubrey. That was for sure. Driving in and making some shots. Pretty impressive stuff. Specific question for you, Ryan. You were on the top of the press all season. How challenging was it in those 2 final games just to keep going and going and going with that press over and over and over again?
I was losing confidence because, while we were in timeout, I told Coach Aaron that it wasn't working, every time they were beating it. And she told me that, but it's tiring them out. And that kind of drive me to continue, pushing myself because I was absolutely gassed. I didn't think that I would be able to make it to the end of the game without, passing out or something because I was so done. I was so tired. But, yeah, hearing that, I was nervous because it wouldn't work. But just hearing that, they were tired,
it's kind of a twofold thing. Obviously, you wanted
Yeah.
to force turnovers, but it's also tiring them out as it goes and potentially frustrating them too, which is something you guys were good at all season, was frustrating your opponent. And once your opponent's in your head a little bit, it's kind of hard to come back after that. Aubrey, everybody knows you're a very, very passionate player. A lot of things happen while you're out there on the court. Was there one person on the team that kind of kept you grounded, so to speak? There were some incidents that happened during games, and, I think maybe there's coaches probably, but was there one specific person that kind of, after something would happen, would kind of be like, hey, Aubrey, calm down. It's okay. It's okay.
Definitely my coaches and then definitely Ryan because every time they would score on us, she would always inbound the ball to me. And then once she would always give me a word of confidence or something while she went to her spot.
Awesome. Kind of a nice duo out there. We'll have our other duo come here in just a minute. Y'all have 2 more middle school sports seasons where you'll all be competing together again. Y'all looking forward to that? Obviously, soccer and track, the 2 more seasons that you guys all compete together. So you kind of do that. You've got this thing that you've been doing this together for so long. Obviously, you're probably going to miss it when it comes to being over with a couple more. So you really got to embrace these last 2 seasons. You guys looking forward to it?
Yes, sir. I think that's what we've been doing, just playing our absolute best with each other while we can because it's our last time.
Yep. And you guys will probably end up going on to compete against each other in the future, which will be tough as a parent side of thing as well. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Panhandle Credit Union commercial coming up next. We're going to swap out Aubrey and Ryan for Ella and Lucy. Ladies, I appreciate you coming on the podcast today and appreciate how well you both played all season long. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
People are who build community. The self-starters, the friendly neighbors, the ambitious workers. And that's exactly who our members are. We're PCU. And with us, banking is made better. So whether you need a rewards checking account, financial products that assist with travel, easy business loans, or affordable auto loans, come see us so we can build the community together. Panhandle Credit Union. Banking made better. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
And welcome back to episode 33 of the Inside Drive podcast. Now we have Lucy Mueller and Ella Homestead on the show with us talking some more about the University Academy Middle School Girls Championship season, undefeated championship season. Girls, these questions are going to be a little repetitive because you already heard them because you were sitting in studio. Obviously, winning a championship is super fun. What were some of your most favorite fun moments throughout the season? Go ahead, Lucy. I'll let you go first.
Mine was probably whenever we got to coach the other teammates, like our teammates.
What did you do during that?
I just did fun games because everyone else was doing like strict stuff, so I just did fun games.
So you were the fun coach. There's always got to be a strict coach and a fun coach, and you were the fun coach. What about you, Ella? What was your most fun moment throughout the season?
Probably whenever we got to have like those fun practices after we won a game, because like you could just have fun, and it was way better than all the regular practices because you don't have to run or anything.
And Coach Jason, how important was it to you to kind of mix those fun practices in? Obviously, you want to work on as much stuff as you can, but is it important to have those fun practices kind of in between, all the serious get ready for game practices?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I think you heard the other girls earlier talk about just the chemistry they have with each other. To me, that's those fun practices is kind of where you build that. So it may seem like you're kind of taking a day off or not working on something, but you are building something, there too. So
you're always working on something, whether it's not fun or is fun. Like we said before, with the fundamentals can be quite boring, but so important to every sport. We've obviously been talking about the chemistry and all that stuff. How do you guys feel about the chemistry that you have, the four of you? What do we call it? Real, Ryan, Ella, Aubrey, Lucy. The acronym. We should get you guys some T-shirts with that acronym on it. How important was the relationship with the four of y'all out there on the basketball court?
I feel like it really helped our like team, and it like.
Ella, you good?
Yeah. But,
All right, you go ahead while Lucy's getting her life together.
I feel like because we were friends before all the sports and everything, that it really helped us like connect even more, and like because we already knew each other and we weren't just strangers, so it was way easier than just.
I'll ask you all a follow-up question to that. Obviously Ava Warren was a huge part of y'all's season as well. You guys had you have this tight 4-person bond. How easy was it to kind of welcome Ava into that, starting 5 kind of role?
I feel like it was very easy because Ava's just like, she's really kind, and she's also like really good at basketball, so she kind of just helps.
Yeah, being good at basketball certainly is a good part of that. Ella?
She came really easily because I feel like she has the same humor as us, and she just made like a lot of funny jokes, and then we just kept like we would like try to team up with each other during like these drills and everything, and it was all just really fun.
Awesome. So she was a good fit for the chemistry, which we keep talking about on this team. I didn't forgot to ask the other girls this one. Who was the funniest girl on the team? Lucy, who do you think?
Myself.
Case in point there. What about you, Ella? Who's the funniest person on the team?
I don't think Lucy was. I think probably Ryan, because whenever she started laughing, then it just made everyone else laugh because she laughs really loud.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Who's the most competitive on the team?
Oh, definitely Aubrey.
I think that's an easy answer.
Yeah,
Ella,
Aubrey.
Who is the best leader on the team in y'all's opinion?
Ryan was.
I feel like Aubrey and Ryan both were because like every time you got down or something like that, then they would always like help you and encourage you.
What are some of the things that Coach Toole did for y'all personally throughout the season that kind of made you settle in and be more confident in yourself?
There was this one practice where he would take us out individually and tell us like things that like we're good at and things that we need to like work on. And that really helped me.
Awesome.
I think that too because it helped me like when I have to like I forgot the word. Improve.
You're
Yeah,
good.
it helped me improve.
So that's something you did with all the girls individually, was kind of pull them aside and work with them kind of one-on-one?
Yeah, well, and honestly, it really wasn't working with them. Just a couple of years ago, we decided to we just call it like our mid-season report. We just took a practice where we let some of the girls be doing drills, and we called them in one by one and just kind of told them things that we were proud of them for, things that, we want them to keep working on, but just kind of give them each, because each of them have their own strengths. And so I wanted them to know that each played an important part of the team as a whole.
Yep.
And so I wanted them to know, it's okay that that's your role. Everybody doesn't have to be the scorer. Everybody doesn't have to be, the point guard or whatever that may be, that each person as a team plays their part. And it's important, just as important as the people who are scoring 20 is the person who makes all the defensive plays and rebounds. So.
Absolutely. Ella, unfortunately, as everybody knows, you broke your wrist during the semifinal game. 2 questions. How tough was it to watch that championship game? And what were your thoughts going into that game to what you could still do to help the team?
Well, to help the team, all I wanted to do was just like bring their spirits up, because even though I wasn't there, I was still like there mentally.
I mean, you were there in person too.
Yeah. But like just not on the actual court.
Yep. Tough to watch the championship game.
It was.
How tough was it towards the end of the game when they went down by 1?
I had to close my eyes at one point. I was so scared. Like I did not. Ooh.
Yeah. Lucy, I thought you did a wonderful job filling in for Ella's starting role. Obviously, you were kind of a substitute coming in during most of the season, and then you had to step up and basically become Ella. And I thought you did a wonderful job doing that. What was your mindset going into that championship game? Certainly kind of with a different approach to the game as it had been all season.
Well, I was really scared because I didn't play post before. I always played wing, so I had no idea what I was doing. And then we like practiced it, and it was kind of easy.
There you go. There you go. And you ended up scoring the game-winning basket when it came all down to it. They could put us up 33-32. How excited were you after you made that basket?
I was so excited. All I wanted to do was run to like my teammates.
Did you think Tiffany was going to pass it to you when you were down there? You thought she was going to go up with the shot?
Yeah, I thought she was gonna shoot it.
And then you ended up getting and kind of making it from, it wasn't really a layup. It was kind of a shot from about, 6-7 feet away. I didn't mean to say that. I got to do 10 push-ups now. So that was pretty awesome. How do you guys feel about playing the next 2 sports? Obviously, you got a little bit of time till we get you back in the net and back out on the soccer field. You guys excited for soccer and, track coming up?
I'm excited for soccer, but I'm like really excited about track. Track is like my main sport.
Is track your favorite sport? Ella, what's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is probably basketball and soccer, cause not track. And I'm definitely more excited for soccer, because even though I can't be goalie and I have no idea who would be,
Yeah.
it's still like very fun.
Absolutely. You just got to be in. I think basketball is a great transition into soccer too, because the way you guys play kind of that press and running gun, you're running up and down the court all game long, which obviously when you go out to the soccer field, that's all you do is run, unless you're the keeper. Then you guys kind of chill a little bit. I did want, American Charlie's is one of our sponsors. Appreciate them being a sponsor. They usually do our athlete of the week. We have a couple athletes in here that have been our American Charlie athlete of the week, but I'm mixing it up for this last one. I wanted it to be the American Charlie middle school coach of the year, and that's obviously going to go to Coach Toole. We'll give him a quick round of applause. I got a gift card for you before you leave here today.
Thank you very much.
It was so, I think all the parents could speak to this. That was the most fun time I've ever had watching my child play a specific sport. Just the whole season, the parents' camaraderie, it was just the most fun I've ever had watching sports. So appreciate you, appreciate all the girls. Thank y'all so much for having an awesome season. We appreciate it. Again, we'll be back after Christmas. Obviously, Christmas is Thursday, so I won't have my normal show on Thursday, but I'll be back next Tuesday. I believe that's the 30th of December. We'll have Coach Olds on the show with us. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Had some fun behind-the-scenes looks on how a season goes. That's kind of why I wanted to do this, because I like learning about what's going on that we can't see as parents. So, again, appreciate everybody coming on in episode 33 of the Inside Drive podcast. It'll be posted on Spotify, Apple. Obviously, it was live on YouTube and Facebook, but it'll also be posted on anywhere where you get your podcast shows. Again, appreciate everybody coming on. I hope everybody has a very, very Merry Christmas. Y'all take care.